Hey there. It's me, Quishar, with Quishar Detroit Publishing. Happy Wisdom Wednesday. This is day 24 of my 30-day live challenge, and I'm so glad that you will join me on the replay. So I just wanted to spend about 5 to 10 minutes just to go over this repurposing content. Hey, Blue Bookmark, thanks for joining. Today we're talking about repurposing content. If you are an industry expert, you have some expertise, and you've been posting on social media, writing articles for magazines, having signature speeches, showing up to speak at different events, you have content for a book. Whether you put it in writing or not, you have content. So you can use content that you've already posted on social media, content that you've already used in your speaking engagements, and use that to write your signature book. 9 times out of 10, the content that you're using are part of your speaking platform. Thanks so much for joining. So I'm going to look at my notes over here. I'm going to give you some information that you can use. Okay. So hold on one second. My nephew just keeps on doing the same thing. Hold on one second. Okay. So, hey, Dr. Leroy, thanks so much for joining. Okay. So, one day I have to come on and tell you why I'm having all this difficulty going live with my nephew. He has autism. So if you understand how autism works, then you understand what I'm going through. Okay. So, let me go ahead and get this content for you today. Okay, so I'm looking at my notes here. Now, again, if you've had content on social media about a certain subject matter. So say, for instance, you were an insurance agent and you had a page that had all these tips and tools for insurers that need to get insurance, right? You can use that content and write that information, use that information to write a book. If you are a speaker and you are speaking on different topics with a specific niche, you can use that information as well. I've used content that I've used in magazine articles, interviews, posting on social media. I've used that to as content for my book. Actually, just about every book that I've written, I've had content that I've used I repurposed, right? Not all the content is repurposed, but a lot of it, but some of it is. Like, for instance, my first book, Everything They Won't Tell You About Procrastination. I had a blog, and I used information from a blog to write my first ebook. And so that information is relevant. If you have a blog, right, that content, you can use that. So again, blogs, articles, information from articles that you published. So like if you have been interviewed in a different article about certain subject matter, or if you have published articles. Like, I was a writer for 2 magazines. One was Advanced Magazine in Detroit, another was Published Magazine. And so some of the content that I have used in these articles, I use it as like chapters or content, or like an outline of content that you can use in your signature nonfiction book. If it's all pertaining to what you're writing about, reuse it. It's yours. It's your intellectual property. You can use this information when you are penning your nonfiction book. Let's see. So also research. If you're doing research for something with a certain subject matter, you need to write a book about it. You can use that content. If you have a process, like if you're a business professional and you have a process that you take each client through, your own signature framework, you can use that in a nonfiction book. Again, I've used video content, published articles, blog posts, previous speaking topics as content for multiple books. So use what you have as a beginning to start getting more content. So when you do your outline, think about all the relevant information that you've shared previously about this subject matter. This is your information. This is your experiences, right? And you can expand upon those experiences when you are penning your book. So if you, like, for instance, I've written articles about the imposter syndrome, right? And I did participate in an anthology, and I had a chapter about the imposter syndrome. So I use that same information to write an article. So you can, it's back and forth. You can use it to speak on, you can use it to write articles, you can use it to, write articles for magazines, to write articles for your own blog. So it's just rinse and repeat. This is your information. These are your experiences. You can use it as you want to use it because it's yours. Okay. So I just wanted to give you something to think about. If you are, writing a book and kind of thinking like, do I have enough content? Think about your experiences, because hopefully you're writing a book about something that is your expertise, right? If this is your expertise, you have multiple experiences, right? And stories that you can share that's going to show the transformation that your target audience will seek. Right. So I want to encourage you to get a piece of paper and start thinking about your experiences, whatever your topic is. Think about stories that are relevant to your subject matter and write them down, and keep a library of experiences and stories that you can use for your nonfiction books. So just want to come on briefly and tell you that, because some people don't realize that you've already got content out there you can collect and bring together to put in your signature nonfiction book. Because these are the things. Now, this is the thing. Some people don't want to seem repetitive, but being repetitive is showing that you're consistent and you know what you're talking about, right? Those that are professional speakers, like, the great Les Brown, he speaks about his same stories. He just rinses and repeats them and tells those stories over and over again. So don't worry about, I've said this before. Keep using that information and put it in writing. Document your process. Document your journey using stories and relevant information that's going to help transfer into solutions and lessons for your target audience. So this is short, quick, and sweet to the point today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Those that will watch the replay, please share in the comments if you've ever repurposed content for your nonfiction book. Let me know. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow is day 25 of 30-day live challenge. Delphinita, thank you so much for joining. We were talking about repurposing content for your nonfiction book. If you're a subject matter expert, information that you use every day, maybe something that you're posting on social media, if you submitted information for articles in newspapers or magazines, you can use that same information. If it represents your topic that you are writing your book about, you can use that same information in your nonfiction book, because I've done it plenty of times. I have written a book based upon a blog that I had with time management. I've used it based upon a blog that I had for procrastination, because my first book was everything they won't tell you about procrastination. So you can rinse and repeat this information. This is your intellectual property, and use it as you wish. You can use it for books. You can use it for speaking engagements. This is your information that you can use however you decide to use it. So just wanted to come and bring that point up, because sometimes people are scrambling for content for their book. Use what you already have. Use what's already in your library of experiences. Use that information as content for your nonfiction book. So, all right. So I just came on really quickly. This is day 24 of 30-day live challenge. Tomorrow will be day 25, and I will see you around the same time, same place. All right. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to send me a direct message or comment in the comment section as well. All right. Thanks so much for joining. Have a wonderful evening.